Welcome back. It's a rainy day here in the studio, or at the studio, outside. It's not raining inside. Anyway, it's a rainy day in the studio, and I thought I would create another video based on what we did last time. As I said, we go to 2-point perspective. So what we're going to need today is a piece of paper, pencil with an eraser, and a straight edge. We're not going to be measuring, so you just need something that you can draw straight lines with. And once again, I've got my toys, my trusty glasses. So Mr. Rogers always started his show off by putting on shoes and a cardigan. I guess maybe I'll be putting on glasses on the opening of mine. We've got our little tripod from Melanie and Peter, and the GoPro. I'm going to put it in the harness and lock it into place. Do a little adjusting so we can do some magical editing, and you can see what I'm doing on the paper. And I have my iPhone set my alarm. I'll do that in a moment. As I said, we are going to be doing 2-point perspective today. 1 point that we did last time and 2-point perspective are both known as linear perspective, which is a way of making lines on a 2D surface that creates dimensionality, space. There's another word for this. It's a French word called trompe-l'oeil, which again is a way of tricking the eye and creating depth where there is none. So today is a step in that direction. We're gonna, as I said, we're gonna do 2-point. So why don't we get started? I'll set my alarm and get the GoPro on.
Okay, I've set an alarm for 16:34.
There we go. Okay, so we'll go ahead and turn on the GoPro and then we'll get started. Okay, the first thing we're going to do, just like the last time, we want to establish a horizon line. So we put the ruler about halfway down on the paper, and we draw ourselves a line. And again, that establishes our horizon line, sky, ground. Today we're going to do 2 points. So we're going to come in from either side of the page a little bit, and we're going to put just a little X or a little dot, whatever you need to remind you of those spots. First thing we need to do is create the bottom. We're going to create a box or cube, and we're going to put a roof on it. Make it just a simple house with a couple of windows and a door. So what we need to do first is establish the bottom of our box. So by lining up the straight edge with this vanishing point on the left, we're going to put the ruler at an angle. Doesn't really matter what angle it is. Just follow along with me. If you need to pause or rewind, that's fine. I'm going to go rather quickly. And what we're going to do is we're going to establish the front of our box or cube. Then we're going to turn the ruler and do the same thing from this vanishing point. So put the pencil here at the end of that line. We're lined up to this vanishing point. And we're going to put a line here, which will be the side of our house. Okay. The next step is we're going to put in some verticals. So if we put our pencil point right here where these two lines come together, slide your straight edge up against your pencil edge, and keeping it vertical to the side so it's perfectly vertical. And what we're going to do is we're going to draw a line to here. And that's the front corner of our house. So now we're going to do the same thing on the back, putting our pencil point there. Put our straight edge up against our pencil and getting it perfectly vertical, parallel to the front. And we're going to draw a light line this time, because we're going to end up erasing some of that away. And we're going to do the same thing across for the front of our house, which is where we'll put the pencil point there on our line. Put our straight edge here so it's vertical. A light line going up. And now we need to create the top of the box, or cube, or house, however you want to say it. So this is the left side, the right side. So any lines on this side are going to be coming from this vanishing point. Any lines on this side are going to be coming from this vanishing point. So what we're going to do is put our pencil point right here at the top corner of our house, put our straight edge up against it, and then we're going to slide it till we get it to match that vanishing point on the left. And what we're going to do is we're going to connect to this line and this line. That's the front of our house. Now we need to do the same thing on this side. So by putting our pencil point on here and lining our straight edge to that vanishing point, we're going to connect this line and this line. And now you're seeing the box. At this point we can get rid of some lines. So that's the reason why I said draw these lines lighter, so we could erase them easily. And then, because you wouldn't see the horizon behind the box, you can take this line out. So now the next step is we're going to put a roof on this. And since this is the end of the house, we're going to have the gable be at this end. So what you want to do is between this point and this point, pick a spot that's halfway and put a little dot. Then what we're going to do is put our pencil point on that dot, slide our straight edge up to the pencil point, and with again a very light line, just draw a line straight up. Okay, and what this is going to be the peak of our roof. So the next step is to put the front half of the roof in. So we're going to put our pencil point on this front corner of the house, and we're going to slide our straight edge up against our pencil, and we're going to line it up to the top of that line. And we're going to connect it with a line. So now that's the front of the roof. So the next step is draw the top of the roof. We put our pencil point at the peak of the roof there, slide our straight edge to it, and then line it up on this side with the vanishing point on the left. And we're going to draw a very light line. You'll understand why in a moment. This is where it gets a little complicated. What you want to do is put the straight edge to where it lines up with this angle of the roof. And what we're going to do is we're going to slide the ruler this way. But what you want to do is try not to do this. You want to try to keep it parallel to this line. Okay? So, and what we're going to do is we're going to slide it all the way back till we get to this corner, so that we have the same parallel lines on the front of the roof. So you get it parallel, and slide it down. Once you get to here from the front corner up to that peak, and that should give you the roof. Don't worry if it's not exact, it's not going to matter. We're not building skyscrapers. This is all for fun. Okay, so we can get rid of that extra line. We can get rid of this vertical line, so we don't need that anymore. We could get rid of this line, but I'm going to keep it for now. So the next step is we want to put in some doors and windows. So from the vanishing point on the left, we want to put the top of our windows and doors, let's put it about this far down. So we put the straight edge against the vanishing point, and what we're going to do is very lightly put a line across here. And then we're going to go on this end of the house, put our straight edge, line the vanishing point up to that point. And again, very light line. And then we're also going to do the same thing for the bottoms of the windows. Light line. By bringing it all the way to this corner, when we put these lines in here, what it'll do is it'll make the windows symmetrical. They'll all be at the same height. Okay, so now you've got the tops and the bottoms of the windows and door. So what we're going to do is put the door in next. So along this line at the top, the alarm's going to go off any moment now. We put our pencil point right here on this line, and we slide our straight edge so that it's vertical, and we put a line in. It's the side of our door. Let's have the other side of the door be about here. Slide the straight edge there. So now you've established where the front door is. We're going to put a couple windows in. So we'll move in from the door a bit. Put a straight line. The other side of the window, straight line. We'll go to this side, scoot in a little bit. One side of the window. There we go. Told you. Now we're going to make the other side of this window. You want it to be parallel to the corner of the house. Otherwise you'll have those crazy Pizza Hut looking windows. Some of you won't even know what Pizza Hut windows are. Now we're going to do windows on this side, but we're going to put two windows in. So one side, another side. Now you're beginning to see the house take shape here. So now is the point we can get rid of some lines we're not using. Where I told you to do the light line across the top. So getting rid of it in between the doors and the windows. Same thing on this side. I can see now 10 minutes is not enough time to do a good video. So now you're beginning to see a house. So at this point, it's just a matter of darkening in your lines. I like the look when we don't always use a straight edge to make our lines. I like the waviness of a natural line there. So now we can take another episode and we can take this same image and we can add some details and decoration, and where you can put your own personality in color and details, etc., etc. We'll do that in the next episode. Bye.